Okay, so we are recording, and hi, Rochelle. So yeah, we'll take turns just kind of sharing what our takeaways were, what stood out to us at convention, and then I will go ahead and mute everyone except the person that is speaking, just so there's not a lot of interference. But if there's anything that you want to say, feel free to raise your hand or put it in the chat box, or if you have any questions, you can do it that way. Christy, do you want to start first?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
You already unmuted me. Okay, hi guys. All right, so I'm actually very excited because Dana was going to speak about Rita Davenport, who was our first guest speaker there. And I was just very, very passionate about some of the stuff she said just for like our life. And so I absolutely hate just reading notes, but like I truly have the best notes. And so I just feel like I have to share these nuggets of the things that she shared with us. And quite honestly, like I have this in my notes on my phone. So I've already texted to like several people on our team that were at the convention. So I'm happy to do that for anyone that's on this call or on our team too. But she really just talked about being a good person. Like she said, everyone wants to feel important. Be nicer than necessary, laugh a lot, humor always smooths out the edges. Having belief is so important. Keep your ass in gear. So activity, activity, activity. So no matter what's going on, laugh about things. She like exuded joy at this conference. It just actually made you want to be like, why am I making this so hard? This should just be super fun, be really kind to everybody, laugh a lot. And she said, you have not because you ask not. Wow, how guilty am I of that with all of this? Have not because you ask not. Whether it's a preferred customer, a current ambassador, someone that used to be there, I need to tell them about the new product. I need to ask how they're doing. Yeah, I mean, we need to speak up, right? That's what this business is. It's relationship. Asking myself, where's my head at right now? Because desire in this business is key for moving. And so you want to get that. You have to remind your mind what you're doing. What you think about, you bring about. And this is so big and also very convicting. This business gives us a chance to set our priorities. Wow. So you really can see where we do good and where we don't do good. I mean, for me, this is the biggest struggle in this business. It's the biggest blessing to have the opportunity to like work this business into different areas. But it's also so easy, you guys, right? To be like, well, I'm just tired. My kids were bad today, or I'm just, and you don't do 30 minutes of IPA or whatever you commit to. And so that definitely spoke to me. What you think about, you bring about. Let me see here. Basically, she was really speaking a lot about this business being built heart to heart. And we know that, you guys, but I also feel like I'm so guilty of this. Like, how convenient is Facebook Messenger, and how convenient is it to like utilize all these tools? Well, that's what they are. They're tools. I mean, the bottom line is, as I'm reaching out to ambassadors today who have turned off their subscriptions, and I wanted to cry because my back office looked like not what I wanted it to look like, I thought, well, how did I really reach out to them? Just because I assumed these people had been ordering month after month. I was really good at the beginning, you guys, but it's so easy to forget about the person that is behind that name. And I literally had like 10 or 12 people turn off their subscriptions this month. I mean, that's really sad. And I looked at those people's names and I thought, shame on me, because I hadn't been reaching out to them because they had been so consistent for the last year. Okay, so that was one of them. Oh, this was a really big one. Stop talking negative about your business. No, whatever your business is, you guys, whatever level you're at, wherever you feel in your posting, in your relationships, in your personal growth, when someone asks how it's going, I'm so guilty of this, you guys. Like, even at convention, I would be like, people, well, I'm just senior gold because, I mean, I'm stay-at-home mom. I mean, I was saying this to people, and I'm like, this is personal growth. What the hell am I doing? Why am I talking bad? I am where I am because this is where I'm choosing. Like, right? And so I don't need to defend it. I don't need to talk bad about it. Like, obviously, my priorities are lining up with exactly where I'm at. And that's good in some ways. And it's also showing me, maybe that's not where I want to be. So, but we need to just not talk bad about where we are and just be, talk positive over our life and our business. Gratitude is the number one step towards prosperity. I'm taking too long, but I'm almost done. I just realized that I wasn't running this whole thing. Like, other people need to talk. Okay. Health is everything. We need to remind people just how awesome it is. God sent all of us here with a purpose. She said, we need to find it and we need to give it away. And then she said, I'm going to be as happy and as successful as I decide to be. And that's for each of us. And really, I could say it to myself every single morning when I wake up. I'm going to be as happy and as successful as I decide to be today with my life, with my Plexus business. And then another thing she said was, just one idea that works for you can change your whole business if you decide to act on it. So that's really, it's not about you. It's about who we're going to help. That's what I got from her. She was just so good. I mean, I know those of you that were there and heard her, she just had such a joy about her. I don't know. She must have been a 70-something lady. I'm sure I'm going to look her up eventually. But, you just wanted to be around her. Positive, awesome, so fun.
And so funny.
So funny.
So
Hilarious. Someone's saying, send me the notes. I'm happy to. I don't know who's saying that, but I would love to send these notes to whomever. It's just great to keep looking at them, just to be excited. I'll let some other people talk, Whitney, and then if we have time, I'm going to share a little bit about the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Perfect. Yeah, definitely.
A game changer.
Yeah, so Rita was so funny. And I was trying to look in my notes. I'm looking at my phone because I have all my notes from convention on my phone.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Rita or Bob, but one of them said kind of what you were saying, like that we're in the business of the number of lives changed, not the number of paychecks and dollars and cents. And that just sums it up. Like, it's all about loving on people and serving people and really changing their lives. And that's when we see our success too. So yeah, I loved Rita. I thought she was awesome. Okay. Do I have any volunteers to go next, or do you guys just want me to go through who I see in what order? Anybody dying to share? Okay, Angie, go ahead. I will mute. Yeah.
Okay. I can't see myself here. Why can't I see myself? Okay. Can y'all see me?
Yep.
Hello. Okay, so I'm sitting in my car. I've actually been getting some work done. So I realized that I am normally the note taker. I pretty much did not take any notes during this entire convention, which is so not like me. But I was very much in the moment. I took a lot of pictures of slides. But I'm here to talk about primarily just the sharing system, giving kind of some tips and a few nuggets that I took away. So one of the big things I want to say, and this is something that Christy said, and this is something I think that we have to tell ourselves over and over and over and over and ingrain it in our minds. It is not about you. This is not about you. Nothing in your life is about you. It is about loving others, caring on others, following God's plan for your life, being obedient. That's what this is all about. And so when you start to get caught up, it's funny because my husband is in real estate and his mentor calls it commission breath. When he just starts getting focused on the money and the paycheck and oh my gosh, if this house closes, this is how much money I'm going to make. He calls it commission breath because he's losing his focus on what this is really about. And it's not about you. It's not about, yes, we need the money. Yes, we like the money. But if that's what you make the center of what you do, you're not going to be successful. So it's not about you. So just tell yourself that over and over and over again. So that's a side note that has nothing to do with the sharing system. But I didn't take a lot of notes. So what I will say, though, is that this sharing system is really amazing. And there's a whole line of scripts that you guys can use. And if you have not gotten on to text that, I think it's Train Me. It's on Trust Your Gut, where you can actually text to Plexus and it sends you little nuggets throughout the day. I got a link to download all the scripts today. So they were selling these little booklets with all these different scripts, and I got the link to download that. I got the link to download all the other helpful books that they had. So make sure you're doing that. I just sat down and sent a bunch of messages out and then went and looked at the scripts and really wish I would have done that first, because I'm telling you guys, they've got it all together. You don't even really have to think about it. The way that they word things, the way they say things is really amazing. So with the sharing system, you're going to start by just reaching out to someone, asking them if they would mind watching a short video. So the first thing you're going to do is send a video. We've got all those videos in the back office, the product opportunity, the business opportunity, ambassador stories, any of those that you think that person would like to see. And so you're going to send them a video. And one of the scripts that they have is, "It's been great catching up with you. If I sent you a short 3-minute video, would you have time to watch it now?" And you want to make sure they're going to be able to watch it now. Don't say, "Would you be willing to watch it?" Because then you send it and they're like, "Yeah, I'll watch it tomorrow." And they never actually watch it. So it's really critical that you're careful with your words and you're putting a sense of urgency into it. And so if their response is yes, then you send the video. And then shortly after, within 24 hours, you follow up with them and ask them what they thought of the video. If they said that they have time to watch it now, then in 10 minutes, you send them a message and say, "What did you think about the video?" Because if they said they have time to watch it now and it's a 3-minute video, then in 10 minutes, they should be done watching it. And then you share a story. There's so many different stories. There's your own story if they haven't heard it yet. There's a whole bunch of testimonials that Plexus is putting out there, and they gave us some teasers and showed us a bunch of them at convention that are going to be out there, of just everyday ambassadors from silver to diamond that have stories that they're sharing of what these products and business have done for them. And then the last thing you're going to do is invite them to some sort of an experience, whether it's an in-person gathering or just some sort of an online group that we might be having going on. So the important thing to know about this as well is that we have an amazing sample sharing system as well. And the samples can be sent at any point in this process. Any point someone shows any kind of interest or you feel like you want to throw it out there, offer to send them a sample. And we have a really amazing professional way of doing that now. And I think someone's going to be talking about that. Maybe, I don't know. Hopefully, if not, we'll put more information out there for you guys. And then the other thing that she really touched big on is making sure that you're leading with a $199 welcome pack. This was a big aha moment for me because I don't lead with the $199 welcome pack because I feel like I need to get people in talking about how quote unquote inexpensive it is, how cheap it is. And so then I kind of get in a situation where it's like, I know I told you it was only going to be $99, but if you want to try more things, here's this $199 welcome pack. You should think about spending an extra $100. Well, the way that they positioned it is to put it out there and let them see the value. So when they ask, simply come back and say, "Hey, we have an amazing opportunity for you to get $350 worth of product for $199. These are the different options of the products that you can try." This is critical. This line right here, write this down. Does that sound like something you could do? That was the closing line. Because it's not, what do you think? You're just flat out asking them, does that sound like something you can do? And if they come back with no, you can fall back on the 99. If they come back with yes, you just sold a $199 welcome pack. It's really hard to go the other way. It's kind of like how we talk about leading with the business. You can lead with the business and then fall back on the products. It's hard to lead with the products and get them not even willing to try the products and then fall back on the business. That it just doesn't happen that way. So you always want to aim high, start high, and then give yourself something to fall back on if what you have gone for doesn't work. Whitney posted this earlier, I think, on one of our chat threads. I don't know if it was, I don't know where it was, but the yeses build your business and the nos build you. So don't get discouraged with your nos. When you get a yes, you build your business. When you get a no, you build your learning. You learn something from those no's. You reevaluate yourself. You think, how could I have done this differently? Sometimes you couldn't have done anything differently. It's just a no. And that's fine. We have to meet people where they are, and some people just aren't ready. And then this was a big, big, big one. This has nothing to do with the sharing system. This is just your Plexus business, but they actually put this on the board. I'm telling you guys, it felt like church when we were at this convention. Like, it was just incredible what they share about faith and God and how much it has helped them. But this was actually put on a slide at the convention. It says, your Plexus business is an assignment from God to help you build your faith. And that is so huge, and it's so amazing, and it's so true, because How many of you in this group right now, in some way, shape, or form, have taken another step closer to God because of these people and this Plexus business? I know for sure I definitely have, and I know many of you have too, because I've heard your story. So remember, this is not just about gut health. This is not just about active. This is not about you. This is about much, much bigger things. And just don't forget that when you're thinking about these sharing systems and reaching out to people, and don't be scared, because you could be starting a huge journey for them. And that's all I got.
Thank you. Yeah, I got nothing. I did write the text for that, the 199 welcome pack in the note section if you guys want to copy and paste that, like, to save it somewhere. Because I had that written down in my notes too. So while Angie was saying that, I typed it over there for you guys. All right, Annette, do you want to share next? If I can find your name on mute.
Sure.
Okay, good.
I unmuted me.
Awesome.
Okay, well, I could talk about a million things, but I'm going to talk about the new product, Active. And I was glad that that was a good thing I could talk about, because this product has been amazing. Just in the, I mean, it hasn't even been a week yet, I don't think. I mean, when did we get it? Tuesday or Wednesday? Well, Tuesday was the first day, so yeah. So anyway, it has been amazing. I think it was instant energy, and I am not an energy drinker. I have actually, to tell you the truth, I have never drank an energy drink in my life, because I'm not really someone who needs that. But this Active is, I mean, it's just amazing. It is, I mean, it's like instant energy, and then it's all day long. It's consistent energy all day long. And I'm going to read some of the benefits from the pamphlet, just so I don't forget anything, because I could talk about it all day and just keep repeating myself. So, but it's the benefits it talks about in the pamphlet that we got about the Active. First of all, it says it's the healthier way to energize your day. And that is the truth, because this is all clean energy. So if you have anybody that you can think of, I mean, off the top of your head, or anybody that you know that drinks a lot of those energy drinks, this is an amazing replacement for that. And you don't put all that crap in your gut. It's just all this clean energy. So the benefits: clean, long-lasting energy. That is true. It boosts performance and mental clarity. That was something I have noticed as well. I can be a little ADD, add an H, add an H in there, ADHD. But I feel like I can be more focused, and I just feel like I have clearer thinking throughout my day. It says it enhances feelings of alertness, supports natural nitric oxide production, supports improved performance, and reduces oxidative stress. I'm not sure what that is. I don't know. I'm not sure what oxidative stress is, but it's going to reduce it, whatever. So, but really, I can give you an example of that, I guess, because when I got home, before we left for convention, 2 weeks prior to that, well, we've been in Minnesota for a week before that, but 2 weeks prior to that, we moved out of our home into our fifth wheel camper, because they were redoing our kitchen in our house while we were gone, and we had kind of demolished it so that they could redo it. We did the demolishing part, but it from floor to ceiling basically was a complete redo of our kitchen. And then in the meantime, my son moved into our home. Like the day we left for Minnesota, my son moved in there. And long story short, he's pretty much just a drunk and a drug addict. So he was living in my home for the 2 weeks I was gone. So when I came back from being gone for 2 weeks, I walk into a home that smells of marijuana, and there's a nasty, mean dog there. And I have a beautiful kitchen, because most of the kitchen was done, but I can't enjoy it because I have to go live out in my camper. So just so that my son can have a safe place to stay. But I'm telling you, the first 5 minutes I wanted to just kill somebody, mainly him. But I'm telling you, I mean, it's a God story too, because I mean, God's involved there too. I mean, but 5 minutes and I was like, I did the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 thing too. But I was like, Annette, you can't change this. You have no control over this right now. This is the way it is. Take a breath, be thankful that you can go out to your camper and you don't have to stay in this house. And so, and I honestly believe that a lot of that was because of the active, as well as all the, like Angie talked about, I mean, all the church that we had at convention. I mean, that part was amazing. So, but I really believe this product is just, I think it's going to be life-changing for, I mean, especially those people that you know that are huge, you know, Monster drinkers or all those energy drinks. I think this is going to be great. I think Christy I think I saw that come across about mixing the active with the slim. That is great too. It's a really good taste. And then you can get your slim and your active in together and not have to drink 2 of them. Although I've done that this week as well. I've done it both ways. But I do love the mix of them together. So there's just tons of features of this new active drink, and I'm by no means a professional, but I love it. I absolutely love it, and I am definitely going to be promoting it, and can't wait until we can order samples of that. I've already given some samples away, just of the ones that I had bought at convention, but I think this is just active is going to be a great new product for us to promote.
Awesome. Thank you, Annette. And the thing is, like, you don't have to know everything about it to promote it. Like, I would have bought it from you with that. Like, hearing that, I would have been like, well, I want to try it. You know what I mean? Like, people don't have to know everything. They just have to see your passion, and then they're going to want what you have. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to know it all. And if it's someone that wants to know it all, that's why we have info sheets. Just send it to them. So, yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. All right. Who else? Diane, do you want to go? Are you like on a time crunch with your grandkids? Do you want me to unmute you next? Oh, I didn't.
There.
Okay.
I just have a couple things really quick. I think a big thing that stood out with me is there was, and I don't know who said this, but they were talking about your fear and your faith. And fear is your imagination of the negative. Our bishop of our church used to always say that faith is the things hoped for that are unseen. And that really went along with whoever said it, because they said faith is my imagination of the positive outcome. So that stuck out, because I think a lot of times we get stuck in the nose and we get stuck in the fears of the negative. And really, if we just do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and when that fear creeps in, or the no creeps in, we can turn it around and look at it as a faith builder, because there's more that we haven't seen yet. But if we gear our mindset to the positive, so that really stuck out with me. That's been probably, for me personally, one of the things is just, the fear of, I'm going to get so many no's, and you find out, like, you feel like you're beat up. But I thought that was really good. And then I think somebody already said it, the assignment from God to build my faith. I think Angie said that. And then we need to make sure we're not attaching ourselves to the no. And I think that goes back even with our prayer stuff of, that's not who we are. The no's are not who we are. So those were the big things that stood out to me. I want to pop on with just everything that Annette said with the active. I had somebody send me something, and I got to find it really quick. I lost it. Hang on. They were talking about some of the things that this active does. Who's on here? Mark, you're on here. You might like this. You're the only guy on here, right? this lady said that we're going to have an influx of men and babies in Plexus. And then why is this? Do you care if I share this, Whitney? Okay. It says why? Because active has a key ingredient among other aware awesomeness that has clinically shown to increase nitric oxide by 175%. 5 ways nitric oxide supplements boost your health and performance, and it's written by this guy in May of 2018. Erectile dysfunction, muscle soreness, blood pressure, exercise performance, and diabetes. And he says the bottom line, nitric oxide is produced by nearly every type of cell in our human body and one of the most important molecules for blood vessel health. It's a vasodilator, meaning it relaxes the inner muscles of your blood vessels, causing the vessels to widen. In this way, nitric oxide increases blood flow and lowers blood pressure. And if you think about that, erectile dysfunction. So I thought this was really interesting because it's not something we're probably going to go, oh yeah, you take this, you might have help in your sex life, but it's out there. I mean, it's proof, that our body needs that. And this is active has ingredients that'll help with that. So that's all I got for you.
Thank you. That's good to know. I feel like we had another product that they said, was it Edge? I don't know, something that would help with like stamina, but I don't remember what it was. Good to know. All right, Mark and Rochelle, would you guys like to share? All right, let me find you and unmute you. Okay, you should be
All right.
Awesome.
Okay. Diane, just to get back on what you were talking about active, I was in the men's cave earlier today, and one of the guys who's been with Plexus for over a year, he hadn't signed up anyone until after convention, and he signed up 3 guys because of active. And it was that post that you were talking about. Those were some of the reasons that he actually got 3 men to sign up since being back from convention. So it's going to be a game changer for men, especially, I believe, when it comes to, being a pre-workout and for all the other reasons that you were talking about. But what I want to talk a little bit about was just in general about how we all come up with excuses. And they talked a lot at convention about how, look, we all have things going on in our lives. There's plenty of reasons that we can make excuses why we're failing at this business, why people aren't signing up with us, why we're not reaching out to people. We can come up with excuse after excuse, why this business isn't for us. And some of the takeaways that I took from people are, look, the only reason that a lot of the people were up on stage and we're not up there is because they heard a heck of a lot more no's than we have. And they've reached out to a lot more people than we have. And the biggest thing holds us all back, it's fear. What are other people going to think, if we try to talk to them about Plexus? And we can't let that stop us because we never know who might be waiting to hear from us about the products and how it can change their lives like it has all of ours. And I think that's the biggest thing. It's all about, one of the things they talked about, one of the quotes that I saw says, don't change your life, you change your habits, and your habits will change your life. And that's so true because what we speak into our minds has a lot to do with how we're going to act. So if we're telling ourselves that, oh gosh, I can't reach out to, so-and-so, what are they going to think of me? Well, you're not going to reach out to them because you're speaking into your mind that, they're going to think you're crazy or, they don't want to hear what I had to say. But if you speak into your mind, hey, you know what? Jim really needs this stuff. I need to share this with him because I know it could really help him. So a lot of what we heard all convention is, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in the products. You have to believe that you're going to help people by sharing these products. For you to say that it's not for someone else out there. So A lot of people talked about, I mean, they reach out to anyone and everyone they know. If they see somebody in the grocery store and they're standing in line, we'll talk to them about it. I mean, they're not shy about sharing. And I think that's one of the biggest takeaways I took is that I myself, I just need to talk to a lot more people about it and not be afraid to share it with everybody, because you never know who's going to say yes to this. And the last thing is, you got to get to convention. It's, as everybody has talked about, I mean, it's more than just the products. If you never ever signed up anybody on the products or anybody on your team, the biggest thing that I can share with you is the people that you're surrounded with. I mean, positivity, everybody that you're around at convention, they're there to help you, and they're there to share in any way they can. And just the togetherness and how everybody, I mean, is rooting for one another. Culture is phenomenal, and if you get the chance to go, you have to go. So an opportunity to go to Nashville this next year with all of us. That's all I got.
Okay, so I didn't really take notes either, but there were a couple of slides that I took pictures of that just kind of spoke to me, and it's funny because Angie shared them too. One of them was the yeses build your business, the nos build you. Oh my gosh, that was so powerful, because for me, like, when someone tells me no, they're not interested, and I know that it could help them, sometimes I take it personal, which I know I shouldn't, but I do. That just spoke to me big time. And then also, I liked all the speakers, but Bob was my favorite. And then also there was a quote that he said, your purpose is so much bigger than a rank advancement, a big paycheck, or a promotion. If that's all you're focusing on, that's not part of the solution, that's part of the problem, which I thought was so interesting. Also, I want to go along with what Mark was saying about culture, just the positive people that are there. I mean, it's so positive and so uplifting. It's like everybody's rooting for you. You know, we're not competing against each other. And something that really moved me was like when they give the awards. I know Jennifer, I think it was Jennifer Leith, was her name. What was that award called? Or
I'm sure.
I don't remember the award.
It was the One Plexus Award.
Yes. Yep.
Oh my gosh, that was so powerful to me, because I love that the focus is not like on the money that you're making in this business. It's basically what you're doing with that. Like, how are you helping others? And I feel like that's just so huge to me. I mean, so that stuff to me is very powerful when I see it. And that was just so touching to me, to see her journey and her family's journey and the adoption and all that. That just was really touching.
Yeah, because just real quick, she said that basically she didn't make any money because of Plexus. No, it still totally changed her life. She still likes a paycheck.
Yeah, so that was pretty much it. But and then also I have something, the Rise Up song, which I just love, and I love the theme. Like, I'm playing that song like nonstop, and my daughters are like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, she's playing that song again. But I just love it. I love the words. If you listen to it, it just Oh yeah.
Just thinking about that song gives me goosebumps. Yeah, I thought, like, and the video, like, I don't know if anyone caught on to it. That video, like, the lyrics are about all Plexus ambassadors, and the video that they played with it at convention was all ambassadors. Like, she was talking about specific people that she knew. Like, it wasn't just words, like, which made it even more powerful. Like, I couldn't watch it and not cry. Yeah, it was so powerful. It was amazing. I agree. All right, so I think everyone, when Jason's not able to share, he is holding a sleeping baby. So he is going to hop on and do a live Zoom call or a live Trust Your Gut video tomorrow. Christy, do you want to talk a little bit about the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I'll wrap up with kind of, I thought you said you wanted to.
No, I will try. Here's the thing. I actually feel like to explain the method of it, I mean, she took an hour and 20 minutes to like get our brains. But what I will say is that,
Yeah,
and I really,
go into detail, but just because.
well, no, I know. Well, basically what the idea is that you are trying to shift your brain out of wherever it's stuck and move it into a positive affirmation. And she calls it an anchor thought. And so, you know, whether you're in a mindset of like, I can't get out of bed to work out. I mean, she used all sorts of examples, or I'm too afraid to reach out to this person, or, you know, whatever it might be. For instance, I first utilized it on the way home because we had like an hour and a half of turbulence. And she actually told the story of how she was so afraid to fly. So the idea is our brain is wired just quickly with scientifically, like there's a lot of science behind this that she explained, you know, to get into this fear mode. We get on this wheel that takes us down a funnel because we're like, well, we can't do this. Or what are they going to think? And I'm not going to do this. Or I lay in bed for 30 minutes. Well, I really don't want to work out. I mean, I didn't eat that bad last night. Well, you know, I mean, I guess I had that dessert, blah, blah, blah. This is the kind of stuff we do with our heads, which is just, it doesn't work, guys. It doesn't get us results. And so the idea is that we say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I love how I feel after I take a run. And you just say the anchor thought, and then you make yourself do it. I mean, it sounds crazy, but it really, really works. So just for a quick example, today I had to take my 11-year-old daughter to get blood work done. And we had been at this hospital for 3 hours. And I mean, she hates doctors. And she was so anxious. I hadn't had a chance to explain to her about this method, but she's smart enough for me to say, I said, Emma, I mean, hysterical, guys, crying, bawling. We're in the doctor's office. And I mean, it really wasn't that big of a deal. She just literally has this phobia with doctors. So I said, Emma, sit on my lap, and I need you to trust me. I said, your brain is stuck in fear. And I said, and you cannot calm down, and I want to help you. I said, we're going to count backwards together, and then I'm going to say that you want to be healthy and strong. And this doctor knows more than us, and they're going to help us. And I said, Emma, and she's just hysterical, sobbing, like, can't get it together. And I started 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want to be healthy and strong. And I literally said it over and over till I got her to say it with me, and her breathing calmed down. She literally, her tears stopped. And I'm talking, she'd been crying for 30 minutes. And even the doctor walked in because the nurse and stuff was like, gosh. And I go, don't worry about it. I mean, for 4 years, her pediatrician couldn't check her ears because she would be like hysterical. I mean, she just, you know, and I'm like, gosh, I wish I would have had this tool. But it's a really profound thing. What happens is when you count backwards, for some reason, I don't know if it's a distraction. She explained it a lot better way. And then you have to give that anchor thought that moves you in the right direction. So I've literally used it from everything from patience with my kids to getting my run done to stuff with my husband, whatever it is, you guys, just get it done. Like stuff that you know is going to make your life better. Doing your IPA, you know, I love helping people, like not fearful, but like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can't wait to bless these people with what the new product that I have. Go and stop thinking about it. I need to make a phone call. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gonna do it. I mean, so the idea is that you just quit wallowing, because I'm realizing I'm using it so darn much, you guys. I'm like, shit, I was never a positive person apparently, because I'm having to use it and stop my thoughts all the time in my head, or at least I fake it really well, because I'm literally using it every hour, a different scenario in my house. I mean, even to clean my kitchen, because I'm like, I'm tired of cleaning my kitchen. It's summer. I don't want to sweep my floors for the 6th time. Like these kids, yada, yada, yada. It could have been done by then, right? So that's all I really got. That's not much science. I really feel like there's a lot better description. Actually, I recorded the whole thing. That's how much I liked it. I have the hour and 10-minute recording. So I'm going to figure out a way to get it on YouTube and share it, because I truly feel like for me, Angie wants to say something, but, and I'll let her say something. But I feel like for me that this was one of the most impactful implementing parts of the convention that I'm actually already utilizing. Tons of great nuggets, but this was really good. So if anybody wants to watch that, I'll have to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to get that on YouTube because I've never done that before, but I can make that happen.
I'm pretty sure, Christy, they shared it on Team Fire.
Oh, good.
Videos. And I'm
perfect.
So you can literally go in there and just copy and paste it into Trust Your Gut.
Perfect.
I have today.
On Team Fire?
Yeah, it's on Team Fire. And I can do it too. I saw the post, so I'm happy to do that.
That's perfect.
Okay, I'll do that.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I already got it done.
Oh, you did?
No, you did. No, on the Team Fire.
Oh, I was like, dang, Whitney.
No.
Killing it with this.
I don't know how to do that either. It's going to be a huge thing if I can convert this video to YouTube because I always have hiccups trying to do it. So
I know. It's like,
I did like to say one more thing. I'll be honest, when she started talking, I literally started rolling my eyes thinking this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. But in the video, she actually explains the science behind it, which I'm a science geek. So to actually see the visual demonstrations of what it does for your brain when you do that, it made a lot more sense to me. So if you're sitting there thinking this is dumb, you don't think it would work for you, I really, 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 really encourage you to watch the video because skeptical me became a believer at the end of her video. It was, it's really incredible.
yeah, watching the science behind it definitely converted my belief too. Because at first I was like, what a bunch of hogwash. But yeah, I agree. Like I saw the science and like the lighting up of the brain. And I was like, oh, there's really something to this. Go ahead, Diane.
Counselor for sexual abuse and things like that. And she doesn't do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, but it goes along with the science of that. There's a portion in your brain that kind of holds on to trauma and negative and things like that. And then there's another portion of your brain that clears that out. And literally when people have gone through sexual trauma, they take them through a process. It's not exactly like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, but where they actually, repeat these things and bring them into where these negative things are. And then they like start pounding on their leg and repeat the positive thing. And I know it sounds out there, kind of just like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 bang, but it switches your brain somehow to go into the positive. And it's proven. I mean, it's scientifically proven. They've had people that have been set up on brain, seeing the brain work with sexual abuse and how it actually switches over into the positive. So, you guys know, the girls that, are on here that were not there, I was not a big, huge fan of her just because I really liked the Bob Heilig so much. But what she was saying was really, really accurate. I mean, it was very, very accurate. And then just another little tidbit on that. Lisa, Rhonda, are you guys the only ones that were not at convention that are on here right now? Anyway, I go, and Rachel, okay. You guys, this was my first convention. Everybody needs to go. I mean, just mark it down in your calendar right now. Start putting $5 away every week if you need to, whatever. There's so much more than just Plexus there. It's good for the mind, the body, the soul. It's good for everything. So make it a priority. That's it.
Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So one of the other things that that stood out to me was the training that Genevieve Scory did. And I'm sure everyone's somewhat familiar with her by now, even if you weren't at convention, because she's the one that's running all the Monday trainings for Plexus. And she's just a big ball of fire. Like, she is awesome. So she talked about everyone wants to buy, no one wants to be sold to. And she talked a lot about the mind and how the mind knows if you're trying to sell something. Like, everyone wants to buy, but it's all about how you approach it and the words you use and kind of like your demeanor. So she said, like, you need to be valuable and trustworthy and caring. She said to be wildly different and refreshingly different. And I loved the analogy. She said, fish don't hunt. And she said, if you think about it, fishing is about luxury and fun. You put a hook in the water and the fish just swim up to you. Hunting, though, it requires camouflage and weapons and hiding. And It's just a completely different mindset when you're hunting versus when you're fishing. So she said, fish, don't hunt with your Plexus business. She said, shift your mindset, make everything about them and nothing about you. And she said that decisions are first made in the heart, and then the brain wants to justify it. So make sure that you use a lot of feeling words, talking a lot of emotions. Always speak with emotions first, because that's what sells. She said, sales is simply the number of people you help. And you get that by it. So basically it's passion plus action times time equals sales, the number of people you help. So it'd make more sense if I wrote it down, but it makes sense as I'm looking at it on my notes. And she said, establish, embrace, and activate your pipeline. So basically, like, always have new prospects coming in, love on the people. A different training that I watched right before convention spoke, and I might have talked to some of you about it already, but it spoke about the importance of follow-up, and it spoke about how, you know, retention is so necessary. And when we have a new ambassador join us, a lot of us tend to like tell our minds that like, okay, we're done. We got them to join, move on to getting more ambassadors to join. But when we get someone to join us, we've only done 25% of the work. There's still 75% of the work to do. You have to get them loving their products. You have to get them sharing and finding accountability partners. And ultimately, you want to get them to silver, because that's when you see the retention. I think the retention rate is like 85% once you get someone to silver. So really, like, and it's because they need those accountability partners. So she's also said, man's greatest failure isn't that he lost, it's that he almost won. That was so powerful to me, because you don't know. And I don't know if it was her or someone else, but one of them referenced the old story about, you know, if I tell you that there's 3 gold nuggets in your backyard and you go digging for those nuggets, but then you decide to stop, like, you never find them, but you know that they're there. You just need to find them. You just need to keep digging. That it's the same thing. Like, if we fail, it's our failure is that we didn't almost lose, it's that we almost won. So that really stood out to me. So outside of reading my notes, I was telling Jason, I think like overall, like collectively, my biggest takeaway, and it wasn't really anything that one person said necessarily, it was more just what I was feeling in my heart after listening to everything. It was just kind of like a hard truth for me. And I realized that the only reason I or some of us weren't up there on that stage this year was because we didn't put in the work. I specifically didn't put in the work. I made excuses. I let life get in the way. I didn't make it a priority. Do I envision myself up there on that stage as a jewel? Absolutely. But I didn't do what it takes to get up there. And the only difference between the people that were up there, or the people that were on the cruise with us for Leaders Retreat and that were then up there on stage, and us, is that we didn't do it. We didn't do the work. So that was just really like a big truth moment for me. Someone said, and I've said it before, but hearing it again, it was like, yep. Someone said, if you want a hobby, treat your business like a hobby. If you want a business, you need to treat your business like a business. And that really just kind of like, again, hit home for me, because I want this to be a business. This is the business and the vehicle that's going to help us achieve all of our goals and our dreams. So really, we just need to treat it that way. Like, we see the comp plan. We see other people and what they're making. We know what's available out there to us. We just need to reach that by working it like a business. So like, one of the things that I've decided since then is we've decided to sit down every Sunday night and kind of like look out the schedule for the week. And I'm blocking at least 2 hours a day to work my business like a business. Like, that's my minimum. And again, it's just because I've decided, like, I'm done saying like someday I'll be up there. Like, no, like, it's not someday. Like, it's gonna happen next year. Like, I will be up there on that stage. Like, I'm over it. I'm over saying someday. So that's really just kind of what I left. I just left feeling like, you know what, like, these excuses are dumb. Like, life's always going to be there. There's always going to be excuses. There's always going to be other stuff. It's more about a priority and what I choose to suck at and what I choose to be really good at. And like, if I really want it, then I got to do it. So that's kind of what stood out to me. Yeah, Christy, exactly. Like they went ruby or they went emerald and you're like, yeah, nice. Good for them. But they did the work, you know? So, yeah, the passion. Okay, Angie, thank you for texting that. I can have it too. I can send it. So I can actually send anyone, at least with an iPhone. I don't know if SMS will do it, but I'm happy to send just like my whole note because I just have one big long note from all the sessions of convention. If anyone wants it, I'm happy to send it to you if you just want to read through it. I mean, it's Whitney-fied, so it might not make total sense, but I'm happy to share it with you. But yeah, does anyone else have anything they want to say or anything that kind of stirred in them or questions or anything else that like stood out from you from convention that you want to share quickly? Christy does? Go for it, girl.
Okay, so this kind of sums up no matter what your goals are, and you guys, everybody's goals are going to be different. But when it comes to like how I felt, Mel Robbins said that you have a responsibility to change how you talk to yourself. And here's the thing, we do, because we show up as a better human being, a better friend, a better wife, a better mother, a better business owner, whatever you want in life, like, is our responsibility how we talk to ourselves. And I really feel like when I left, what happens in between here is what causes me to do IPA, what causes me to be in action, or what causes me to be stuck in my head. And so that just, when I think about it being my responsibility for what's in my head, that really is kind of, it's empowering. Especially when we have, and I now have some tools to help me with it. So we can do it. Angie's raising her hand.
You just muted me. I unmuted myself.
Oh, we did it together. Okay.
We did at the same time.
Jinx.
And I mentioned this in the room when we were all together. One of the super convicting moments for me, because I know we talk a lot about how when we post, we pray. And we say, please let whoever needs to see this see it. Please bring into my life people who need these products, need this business. And someone stood on stage and said that if you pray that prayer, every single person that he's doing his part by having them cross your path. You have to do your part to reach out and share. And that was like, holy.
Say that one more time. You froze up in the middle of it.
Okay. So it was kind of a second because I'm like, I just pulled into my driveway, so I think it's kind of connected to my Wi-Fi. Hopefully this is better. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me? Okay. So what it was is if you are praying for God to bring people into your life that need these products or need this business, when you say that prayer, every single person that crosses your path after you pray that prayer is someone that, I think it just cut off again, is someone that God is putting in your path to answer that prayer. And so it is your responsibility to share with those people because he did his job of putting them in your path. So don't pray that prayer if you're not prepared to do your part. And that was very convicting for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember someone else said something about don't just do the post and pray method, like do the work behind it. Like you have to be messaging. You can't just post and pray and like think all the people are going to come to you and be messaging you. Like you have to, like, if you post, people like it, like you need to message them. Like you can't just let it sit. Like they're not going to reach out to you. Like consider they're liking it, being interested. And Doe and probably the back office now gives you scripts to even say like when people like a message, like a post. So definitely like utilize all of those opportunities. I am flipping through looking for one last thing I wanted to share from my notes, and I don't think I'm finding it. All stuck is, if you feel stuck, all that is your soul's way of telling you that you've stopped growing. So all that means is that you need to get your booty doing some personal growth and start growing because you're not stuck. You've just stopped. And when you stop, you can go. That's a choice. So that stood out to me too. So thank you guys for all hopping on. And I did say in my post that anyone that joins us will be eligible for a free prize. So Rhonda, Rachel, And Lisa, I am going to be mailing you guys samples of Active since I know it's not as easy to get right now and I want you guys to try it. So I'll be mailing you guys samples of that and another little goodie. So thank you girls and guys for hopping on, and have an awesome evening. And I will be trying to convert this recording to YouTube so everyone else can glean from it. Have a good night, everybody.